Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jacob Ferguson, and today we're going to be reviewing Season 8 of Season 17, Episode 8 of Drag Race, the Wicked Wizard of Oz musical. And if you don't like Wizard of Oz facts, too bad, because this is my speciality, and I'm gonna blab. Legitimately, it's gonna be a little bit of fluff on each character, and if you don't like that, I do apologize. I'm gonna try and keep the video short. This beast, I'm talking about you, ruined my last take that was 30 minutes, so I had to re-record it. I'm talking about you. So we're gonna get into it. Let's get into the episode. Everybody's coming back from the main stage. You know, Crystal's gone by. I would have more sympathy, but she had a lot of high placements, and to be perfectly honest, her Nicole Richie was bad. Right? It was bad. It was bad. So ergo, she goes home. Honestly, I do think that Crystal could come back for like All Stars 12 and do something, though you gotta have a little bit more personality. I'm sorry, you gotta have a little bit more personality. I want a little bit more bang for my buck for an All Stars season. You know, I don't want boring. And Crystal, even though she had great looks, was kind of boring. Like, Hormona should still be here. I'm sorry, she should be. But she's not, and we're dealing with that. Everybody congratulates Anya and Lana for winning and surviving the lip sync, and Lana's like, well, my new strategy is not to land in the bottom, and I think that is a good strategy because nobody wants to. Nobody wants to be in the bottom. But people have to be in the bottom, otherwise it's not going to be a good season, and was this. Just don't impersonate Rosa Parks anymore. I think you should be good. Though obviously I don't think that you're gonna win this season. We get out of drag. We get into the workroom. RuPaul announces that it's the Rusical. Susie is. I think at this point, just is spewing. You know, like her pants are no longer dry, from how like excited she is about this. We get a couple arguments over Kansas Dorothy and the Good Witch. I'm sitting here going, shut the fuck up. I just don't care. Just take the role that you don't want and give the role to somebody else, and if they fuck up, too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the workroom stuff. Obviously, we have the fluff and nonsense of, you know, recording vocals with Michelle, and Jamal Sims is there, and I love Jamal Sims. He is a good choreographer. I think that he's probably the best choreographer that we have. I'm gonna just be honest. Adam Shankman, I don't need to see him back anymore. I don't think that he did that great of a job with the sound of... Like, give me just Jamal Sims. Give me Jamal, and we're good. I mean, he was... For God's sakes, he was Dr. Facilier in Descendants 3, which had Cheyenne Jackson in it. And I don't understand... I don't know why I referenced Cheyenne Jackson, other than the fact that he's hot. But, like, give me Jamal. Jamal's perfect. As a guest judge, he's perfect. He gets the vibe of the show. He's a good dance choreographer because he doesn't baby the queens, but also, like, if you ask him again, like, Adam Shankman was a bit like prim proper and like, you gotta get it together, but Jamal's like, hey, it's a one and a two and a three, and you're doing a one and then a two and then a three. We need to tighten that up, but you're gonna be fine. Like, give me positive, not Adam Shankman anymore. Thank you. As for, yeah, fucking Lord. As for our other guest judge is Adam Lambert. I like Adam Lambert. I like him a lot. He's playing the role of. Is he? Is he currently the MC? Because, like, I've seen 85 accounts of, like, it was Eddie Redmayne, then it was Marsha. Oh, but now it's Adam Lambert. But then also we have Orville Peck coming in. But then Billy Porter. I'm like, make up your mind, please. If it's Adam Lambert right now, I've seen the story about the gorilla song from Cabaret and how he, like, the setting character is something to audience members that laughed. So I think it's currently him, but it could also be Orville Peck. It could also be Billy Porter. I have no idea. Who's next? Andre DeShields is gonna come on and do it. Christian Chenoweth gonna come on and do it. Like, who else we casting? Like, give me a definitive cast, please and thank you. All jokes, all criticism aside of Cabaret. Um, we get a lot of workroom stuff, like Arietti explaining about her that she had bulimia and anorexia, eating disorders, and those things never really do go away, right? We battle stuff, like I battle with alcoholism. I don't drink anymore. I've been sober for a year. But it's difficult, right? It's difficult sometimes in the state of the world to not want to drink. It's difficult to look at yourself in the mirror and not see the person that you once were. And so, like, my heart extends to Arietti because I know how hard dealing with something like that is. I mean, I know that alcoholism is not necessarily, being an alcoholic is not necessarily as attributed to, anorexia and bulimia, but there were nights that I did, pass out near my toilet. Or I would wake up and there would be, like, a garbage bag, like, on my chest from where I had blacked out. Like, it was rough. And I'm just glad that that part of my, journey is over, and I'm doing a whole lot better now with not drinking because I've supplemented it with drinking water and soda sometimes. Though soda is not that great for my health. So anyway, when all else fails, just drink chocolate milk, right? Acacia talks about having cystic fibrosis and how they did not expect her to last past high school, and she did, and I'm very glad that she's here. And then she talked about her grandmother, and it was the year. She said it was a year to the day that they were doing the musical on the show that her grandmother passed away. So this is like mid-July at best, and I've lost all four of my grandparents. My dad's dad passed away first, and then my dad's mom passed away, and then in the span of a year, both of my mom's parents passed away, and I miss them every day. Games might not have agreed with me on a lot of things, like me being who I am today, but one of my greatest memories is whenever I would be sick, I would ask Gams to put on The Wiz. And I know I'm a white person, but The Wiz made me very happy as a kid. It made me happy. The songs are some of the best that I've ever listened to. And, The Wiz, for me, is a shared experience with my brother that I will never forget. We quote that movie all the time to each other. The Wiz Live, especially, we got it. When my brother was in college, and I failed out, so I didn't do that well in college, before one of his exams, he played that song, We Got It. Neo wrote it. And it's Neo, Shanice Williams, Elijah Kelly, and David Allen Greer singing it. And he thought of me, which is great, and he thought, we got it. Did he pass? Did he pass that exam? No, but we use The Wiz as a lot of moments have happened around those songs. My cat Abraham, for instance, who passed away 2 years ago. We had to put him down because he had cancer. He used to poop on the floor. And we would play The Feeling That We Have from The Wiz, Teresa Merritt's version. That was the last song he heard before he passed away. And, it's very easy to see why people connect with The Wizard of Oz, Wicked, and The Wiz so much. Whenever I have to go to the vet with, the one time I've had to go to the vet with Blackberry, my other cat, which I know I'm crying about cats, and I'll get more into cats later, but Blackberry, I couldn't find my phone to play the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So I sang it to him. That song has become synonymous with just meeting people again, I'm crying on video. This is definitely the one, I guess. I don't know. I don't mean to be crying. I'm just remembering everything that The Wizard of Oz, Wicked, and The Wiz has done for me, Even as far as the movie Wicked coming out, it came out at a time that I needed it to come out. The election had happened, and Lord knows there's a lot wrong with this country, but Wicked came out, and I went by myself because I needed to. And I sat in the middle row, because you don't sit in the front row of a movie theater unless you want neck damage. And I watched that movie in 3D the day before it came out with a big tub of popcorn that I didn't even touch after the previews. And I cried. I didn't sing along. I lip-synced. Because, honestly, and then some gay guy sitting next to me stood up and walked down to a lady during I'm Not That Girl, who had her phone out and told her to put it away, which was iconic of him. Anyway, let's talk about the musical. Starting with who I liked. Lord Jesus, I am just a mess today. Let's start with who I think should have won and go down the list. There's somebody in the safe zone that was in the top this week, but I'm going to just say, I agree that she was in the top, but in my rankings, there's safe. She was safe-ish. Let's talk about Anya Nerve. Anya Nerve killed it. Diana Ross was far too old to play Dorothy, right? Originally, Motown, who had bought the rights to The Wiz, wanted Stephanie Mills to be Dorothy. But Diana Ross said, no, that's me. And she basically said, if you give me this role, I have friends over at Universal who can help distribute the film. So that's how Diana Ross became Dorothy. And frankly, for the film, it works. But as an adaptation of The Wizard of Oz, I can immediately tell that Diana Ross is far too old to be Dorothy. They try to do this thing with her being a school teacher and stuff and being just sheltered. I don't necessarily think that it works as well as her being a kid, because in the original, Stephanie Mills is a child. She's a kid who's Dorothy, and growing up and learning a whole lot throughout her journey. So Not the best decision, but I get it. Anya did Harlem Dorothy, which is basically, you know, Dorothy from The Wiz. I have to say, she fucking killed it. The second she came out in this orange purple outfit with, it was the Dorothy from the Wiz outfit, but different colored because you can't really get the right. Like I always thought Dorothy's outfit looked kind of weird because she has a white skirt on but a pink top. I don't understand what like it does. Like I thought it was all white, but then it's pink. It's weird. Um, but she killed it. She was the Wiz. She was the Dorothy of the Wiz. 10 out of 10, cream. Her runway, it was parasols on the runway, mind you. Um, this look, I like, though, I do think that her style of drag, I'm waiting for her to be more, like, pageanty, if that makes sense. We've gotten the really culture side of her, which I love. We've gotten, pants and this one was also kind of pants ish. I kind of want like we've gotten a little bit of opulence, but I want more opulence. Does that make sense? I love her in this look though. I also kind of feel like she could have had bigger hair. Maybe some like gold flecks in the hair as well. Like do maybe like a Donner Summer disco like afro moment or something like that. I'm not saying that the finger wave was bad by any means. Look, my hair is wackadoo, but like something like that where she could put like something in it because like the parasol was kind of felt like a little bit of an afterthought. It was still beautiful though, and I'm gonna give it a cream, but I kind of want Anya to be more, okay, more opulent than she already is. So, up next is Sam Star. She plays the Wicked Witch of the East. A very, very bit part, but it's Cher. Yeah, so I enjoyed her performance as Cher, but it didn't read Wizard of Oz. It was Cher in burlesque as the Wicked Witch of the East. It was great. I just think that this was the least Oz thing that they did, and it didn't pay off as well as like it should have. Again, she did really well, and I understand why she won eventually. She was a lot more loose, a lot more having fun with it. But it was just Cher. It's a cream though. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed her. I do wish though that instead of she had the turn back time outfit on. Instead of the boots, that she would have gone bare stockinged, like they stole her shoes and she didn't have any shoes on. I think that would have made the character a little bit better and a little bit more nuanced. There was a lot of this thing that could have been a little bit more nuanced. A little bit more nuanced. She gets cream, and on the runway, she looked like $1,000,000. The outfit is the same pattern all the way around. She has a little bit in her hair, looking like Violet Beauregard's mom again. But what's tea? What's different than that? She again looks amazing, and Sam Star is kind of becoming my favorite. Look, I know that we are trying to diversify more of who we choose as our winners. We haven't had a white winner, I think, since Aquaria, which is fine by me. Well, Willow Pill, but Willow Pill was also trans and also had a disability that made her like stand out more, as well as she was a bit of an oddball. So I mean, like, yeah, we've also had Willow, but like we haven't had like a white winner, like a white pageant winner since since Aquaria, really. And Sam could easily be the next one. I think that it's a tight race between Sam and Anya at this point. I really do. I love Anya, and I do want her to win as well because I think that she would finish what Saphira started. The Black Queen that RuPaul really likes and really is like amazed by, that ultimately doesn't end up winning but could win in All Stars, because that's what happened with Angeria. So for me, Sam gets 2 creams. Up next, Susie Toot. So she had Elphaba, right? And this is where the structure of the musical kind of fell apart for me in the opening seconds. They were doing a chorus line, uh, which is a musical about a chorus line. It's a musical review type thing. You got people dancing, singing like different solos, like Pick Me Girls. And it's very reminiscent of also Cats and Red the Cyclone. Both of those though have to deal with death. This is just like a part in a new musical, like chorus line. Um, but what was I gonna say? Right. Susie. I kind of wish that there would have been a narrative to this show, like Acacia's Dorothy lands, but then we wouldn't have gotten Anya's Dorothy. So I yes, but I wanted this to be Defying Gravity, right? Defying Gravity inspired. This wasn't. This was like If They Could See You Now. Da, da, da. That's the one from American Dad. But like, you get what I mean. Like, I wanted it to be Defying Gravity, and it wasn't. I also think that what was missing from Susie's performance was the vocal run at the end of the song. If you're gonna do Wicked, which Wicked really wasn't that represented. It was more The Wiz and the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked. Give me the vocal run. Give me the like give me that. You didn't do that, and why? Why didn't you? You could have. People are adding Cynthia Erivo's vocal run into like literally everything at this point. So I mean, like, why couldn't we have done that? But she did really well. You could tell that musical theater runs through her bones. Like, root beer runs in mine. I don't know. I don't drink root beer. I don't know why I just said that. But anyway, with Susie, this is a cream. She did really well, though I do wish that there were a little bit more wicked stuff in there. Um, Also, why did she start out the musical? Wouldn't it have made more sense for like Anya to start out the musical? I don't know. On the runway is where she loses me. This is a crunch only because I liked the paper parasol, but the it was all one color. And I like that it's all one color, but you choose beige. It blends in with your skin tone. I kind of wanted it to be more. And you have this aesthetic where you are sepia tone like 95% of the time. I wouldn't be surprised if she came out as Betty Boop one week, like, a Fleischer Brothers cartoon, I think that she could have done like a Mary Poppins inspired thing if she wanted to do full musical theater. This was a crunch, though I do enjoy her performance. And the performance is what put her in the top 3 for me. Next is Jules, and I have to talk about Jules as safe, though I do agree with her being in the top for this. This, she was Glinda from Wicked, and she kept on referencing her pumpkins. Call them bubbles, please. Everybody does. Why wasn't it? Why didn't she refer to them as her bubbles? They didn't even include any bubbles on the stage. There was no bubble to be found. My bubble burst trying to look for the bubbles. Like, come on. I feel like the fish from Finding Nemo. Bubbles. Her physicality was good. She did not let the wardrobe malfunction kill her off. Her Janet Jackson, nip slip. But what I will say is that in the grand scheme of things, she was kind of just playing herself, a ditzy-ish version. The thing with Jules, and the reason that I don't think that she's gonna win, is because she's too current. right? She did great last week in Snatch Game, but she's too current for this competition. She's too ditzy bimbo like thing, but isn't doing that great of a job about it. I don't know. I like Jules, I really do. This was a cream tonight. On the runway, I am tired of the widow looks. I'm tired of them. I was gonna give this one a crunch, but it's so damn beautiful. I love this look on her. I just really wish that we would stop doing the widow looks. Her parasol looked great. It's a cream. But again, because of that, I just placed her in the safe zone. Up next, let's talk about the trio. Okay, Ariadne, Lana Del Rey, and Lexi Love. There's a book called Dorothy Must Die, and it's actually got multiple sequels. You know, Wicked Will Rise, Yellow Brick War, and the third book is something. It's the blue one, and I forget which one it was because Yellow Brick War is the last one. Um, I don't know. Look them up. They're by Daniel Page, and the premise is that Dorothy is a totalitarian dictator of Oz now, and Glinda's like her political ally, and her Glinda's twin sister Glamora is part of the resistance. It's a very unique way of interpreting things. But the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion are all changed from the original because, like, you know, the Scarecrow's mad scientist now, and the Tin Man has unrequited feelings for Dorothy, and the Lion's an asshole. So, like, I can see now, like, where they took that inspiration from. Let's talk about the Scarecrow. Let's talk about Ariadne. So, the Scarecrow, right? I think that she did really well. She was the best of the trio, in my opinion, in the way that she did her physicality. Um, the crows were never her friends. Don't ever put that in her thing. That is false advertising. Um, but this is a role you can't win on, you know. And you see what I did there. You can't win. Michael Jackson is the Scarecrow, but you can't win with it because it's very much a. It's like the old Gumby Cat trio. If you've ever seen Cats, there's a part in Cats where the Gumby Cat, not the 2019 version, the original version, with Ken Page, and what's the guy's name? John Partridge. John Partridge. Oh gosh, he's hot. He plays Tugger. The Gumby Cat is the Rebel Wilson song. You know the one where she ripped off her thing and was terrifying. But in the show, it's a trio of cats singing it. This is basically that. This is the trio of I just did that, and that was probably copyrighted. Anyway, Ariadne did well, and her whole thing is that she's scared because the sun will go out in like a billion years or something like that. She did great. And on the runway, I do like her burgundy-esque look tonight, though I do wish that it was. No, I don't wish anything. She looked beautiful, and I'm glad that she included her heritage. She also had fun with the umbrella on stage, if you know, you know. So it's a cream, and her performance is a cream. Let's talk about Lana. So Lana's Tin Man was based off of the Jack Haley Tin Man. I think that the Ariadne Scarecrow was more based on like maybe Michael Jackson, but like not really. But this Tin Man was definitely based on Jack Haley's, and Jack Haley has gone on record. He's dead now, so he can't go on record anymore. But he had gone on record to say that he used the Tin Man's voice to kind of be like his reading a lullaby voice, or reading a children's story voice, which really works very well. He's a soft-spoken guy, so I'm glad that Lana kind of fed into that. As for the Lego Dimensions version of the Tin Man, you got him sounding like a smoker from New Jersey. Oh, the pain I would feel if I only had a heart. And I'm standing there as the Wicked Witch going, please kill me. Just kill him. Just kill me or kill him or do something, Charlie. Like, get him away from me. Sorry, that was a weird segue. Lana's performance was really good. I was surprised. I'm very glad that she did that because, frankly, girl, you needed it. As for her runway, it's beautiful. It's a cream, but what it's missing. Give me some boobs, give me some hip, because right now it is boxy on you. And that is my one critique. That is the only critique of this outfit that I have. It is very boxy, it is very just like draped on you, and if you had given it some va-va-voom, given it some hips, given it some boobs, it would have filled out the proportions a bit more and not been just so eh. You know? Talking about Lexi Love, the Cowardly Lion is my favorite character of The Wizard of Oz. And he gets paid the most dust by adaptations because they don't know how to do him correctly. Burt Lahr did him well enough, but in the grand scheme of the film, the Scarecrow has smarts. The Tin Man is shown to be compassionate, but the Cowardly Lion jumps out a window and then does not really like have any courageous moments. And don't even get me started on like alternate universes of Oz. I don't really want to mention Ra or Yaman. Though I fear I have to. Why did Emerald City leave us on a cliffhanger? Why did Emerald City have to exist? That's my question. Because they left Yaman in the skin of a lion because he was a bad person. But then it's like, why is he the Cowardly Lion? The fuck did he do? Why was he... You could have had a real lion. And then Ra just looks a hot boo-boo mess in Tin Man. They really told Raul Trujillo that no, that you're not gonna have a good day today. Anyway, with Lexi, I like what they did. This was definitely inspired by Dorothy Must Die, though. I do have to say that this one specifically, him having rage issues, is inspired by Dorothy Must Die. As well as a little bit of Burt Lahr. I'm glad that she kind of got that in there. Like, she didn't do a full Burt Lahr impersonation, but, like, you could see that that's what it was meant to be. She gets a cream on that. And her runway, wow. This is the Lexi that we need. This is the Lexi that we need, and I don't understand why we haven't been having her these past couple of weeks. I do have to say that I wish that she had maybe kept the parasol cane up here longer, and then like halfway down the runway revealed that it was a hat. Because I feel like that would have been like, she immediately came out and then said, boom, bitch, I'm wearing a hat. But other than that, she looked amazing. She looked like $1,000,000. It's a cream. Let's talk about the bottom three. Let's talk about Lydia for a second. Lydia Butthole Collins. So, the Flying Monkeys. I'm going to just mention them. So, 1 second. So, I had to look it up because I remembered in Glee they did a version of this song. It's based off of a chorus line, the fifth musical number, Sing, but I couldn't really sing it. Sing, as well as For Good, they based it off of that as well, which I don't understand, and I didn't like that. You didn't really need that. The Flying Monkeys were bullshit characters. Like, you were never going to win with those characters. You were either going to be safe or in the bottom. They were meant to fail because it was very much like a and also, out of all the Wizard of Oz characters, you want the Flying Monkeys. I do think it's a bit weird that Corey had to play a flying monkey because of, racism. Like, that was not a good thing. But I did like that they had to work together. Their chemistry was off the charts. Both of them were. But the chemistry combusted in a lab. And freaking Lord. Both of them get crunches. But on the runway, let's start with Lydia first. Lydia, did a nun look, which wasn't a nun look at all. It was bullshit. And I just have to say this. I agree with like Plasma and Monet when they did the pit stop on this. We need to see your face. Stop trying to cover your face, please and thank you. Like, this is like the fifth time you've tried to cover. Well, no, the second time you tried to cover your face, but still, two is too many. You don't have to cover your face with stuff. It is perfectly acceptable. Um, as for her runway, though, it's gonna get a crunch. I didn't see it for her, and I don't understand it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't understand where the nun... Like, I get maybe, like, she wanted to do the nun hat type situation, but, like, even that didn't translate. It needed to be a nun actual thing. Corey's outfit, though, I liked a little bit. She did a Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz performance. And the thing is that she looked crazy, but it worked. My mom did point something out. I watched it with my mom that it shouldn't have been a gown, right? It shouldn't have been a gown. It should have stopped. She should have done like just a leotard. But then Michelle would have read her. But I looked at my mom and said, "Mom, she was already in the bottom." So I mean, like, what's T? I also didn't understand how the parasol correlated to Dorothy. It was just the sun. I was like, why don't you do something with the parasol, please and thank you. This look was a crunch. I liked it, but it was a crunch. And finally, Acacia forgot. On the runway, let's start with the runway. No, well, yeah. I go back and forth because this is Marie Antoinette, like, poodle, frou-frou type situation. It's nice, and I like the camp of the wigs, but it's also just bad. It's gonna get a croom, middle of the road, I guess. Let's talk about Dorothy. So this was the Diana Ross home moment. This was what I actually think the original movie didn't do as well. I mean, it did, but it didn't do it as well. Like, she should have been like singing a song about going home at the end of the song. Why? I understand why King of the Forest is the last song, but also, like, why don't we have more music after King of the Forest? Because that's such a bummer to end on, you know. At least in the Madison Square Garden production, we get Joanne Worley singing the Jitterbug. Gotta love that. So this is the home thing, and this is the 11th hour number. This is the Ballad of Jane Doe. This is Memory. This is Maybe This Time from Cabaret. This is like My Man from Funny Girl, I think. This isn't the show-stopping number. This is not, this is a show-stopping number, but it's not a show-stopping number in the sense that it is like You Can't Stop the Beat or Don't Rain on My Parade from Funny Girl or Hello Dolly. This is the slow ballad, like, that can be turned into a pop song type situation. And Home is the song. It was my most listened to song last year. The Diana Ross version was, because the power behind it. There's a reason that it is so marketable, because it is so, like, you listen to it and you're like, yes, I see. The 11th hour number is supposed to be like the thing. The Ballad of Jane Doe it's a lament. And we have Noel's lament in Ride the Cyclone as well, where it's more of a ballad. Right? It's more of an I want thing. The lament of Jane Doe is that she doesn't have a head, and she wants to find out who she is. I mean, spoiler alert, but not really spoiler alert. Jimbo worked on it. Go ask her about it. But with 11th hour numbers, you have to get it right. I don't think anybody could have. You have to get it right. This is the over the rainbow moment, where Dorothy is in the witch's castle moment, and she's breaking down. It's the moment that is like, but I'm here. Like, I'm still here. I'm still doing this. Maybe there's a chance for me to grow up. Time be my friend. Let me start again. And Acacia did nothing with it. And the vocals were great, but Jamal should not have choreographed this moment. Okay, here's what it should have been. Spotlight, just her, and allowing her to do emotions and doing emotional stuff and feel the song. You never want to do like a choreographed type situation. There's no like grand jeté or movement. It is pleading. You get what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Do you get what I'm saying? Because Acacia didn't do that. It was kind of embarrassing, especially to close out the show on just a moment of okay. And then they closed out the show with like the top hat stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do like a tribute to Judy Garland or something like that. Do an over the rainbow-esque situation for the end where everybody's like singing it. Like Cats did it correctly. You know, after Grisabella yeets off to the Heaviside layer, you get the say cat is not a dog thing. And I'm not talking about the 2019 version. Because Judi Dench for 5 minutes going, hey, cat is not a dog. It's horrid. Ken Page, though, doing it correctly, amazing. So, all in all, I like this musical. I really do. There are a lot of problems with it. Acacia gets a crunch for her performance, by the way. So the bottom two are Corey and Acacia. They don't actually have a low placement, though I think it would have been Lydia. And the winner is Sam Starr. And honestly, okay. I enjoyed Sam's performance. I think Anya did the best, but Sam, sure. It could have been Jules. I would have been fine with Jules winning because it would have been her first win. But as for Sam, sure. I mean, absolutely. I think that she did really well, and I really enjoyed her performance. And the bottom two are Corey and Acacia, and they have the lip sync. And instead of doing like anything Wizard of Oz themed, because that would be too easy, Hughes Corporation's Ease on Down the Road is already here. Mary J. Blige did a cover of No Bad News. You know, you got Thelma Carpenter's He's the Wiz, Amber Riley's He's the Wiz. You know, Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland, Over the Rainbow by Pink, even though that one, ooh, we don't talk about that one. You got Home by Barbara Streisand, Home by Diana Ross. Diana Ross, anything, The Wiz. You know? We get Wet Dreams by Adam Lambert. A gay disco pop situation. And it's not bad. But then Corey loses her wig. You got Acacia who's white girl dancing. Corey loses her wig, which Lydia tells her to glue it down and untucked. And Corey says no. Girl. No thanks. Watching this lip sync, it was okay. It still does not top Boogie Wonderland, but it was okay. And it wasn't one of the top 40 hits. You know, next, what's going to happen next week? Taylor Swift going to come out of here? You know, you need to calm down. Being too loud. You know, fucking... We got Sam Smith coming up in here one of these weeks. Oh no, they're going to do Unholy with Kim Petras, aren't they? Oh no. Because what else would they be doing? I'm Not Here to Make Friends? They already did that. What else could they be doing? Because Unholy was a popular one. Who's next? Who's next eliminated? I'm gonna have to say either Lana or Arietti. Though Corey, ma'am, your time is nearing its end. I think that Corey, Lydia, Lana, and Arietti are gonna be the next couple out. Um, my preferred method would be Arietti, then Lana, then Corey, then Lydia. And you know full T that Lydia and Corey are gonna have to lip sync against each other. You know full T that that's going to happen because they're still a couple and they're still together. And I love that for them. I'm so happy. Lydia is attractive and Corey is attractive, and I'm glad that they are both together. But, like, they see that now. They're like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna pull the plug on that real fast. As for the top four, Susie's gonna get the Lucy treatment. She is, and the reason that she is because she is being too much of a diva to do anything about. So the top four are gonna be Sam, Lexi, Jules, and Anya. And the reason that I know that that's going to be true is that Lexi is going to start getting a couple wins. And if she doesn't, then what's going to end up happening is that she's going to go into the challenge with one win. But I think that they like her because she is the eldest of the group. So what do you guys think? I know it's a longer video because autism, I guess. I my specialty subject came up. I had to do a TED talk on it. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys want me to go into the world of Oz, I would love that. I've really wanted to branch out about that, but I've been scared about what my subscriber base might think. So leave a comment down below on who your top four is. I will see you guys next week. Bye. Next week also is a design challenge. So, okay, bye, y'all.